Can I start? This is chapter 17, Punishment and Reward of Kali. Sutta Goswami said, after reaching that place, Maharaj Parikshit observed that a lower caste Shudra, dressed like a king, was beating a cow and a bull with a club, as if they were no owners. The bull was as white as a white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principles from her, she was now rendered poor and calfless. Her legs were being beaten by the Shudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. Maharaj Parikshit, well equipped with arrows and bows and seated on the gold embossed chariot, spoke to the Shudra with a deep voice sounding like thunder. Oh, who are you? You appear to be strong, and yet you dare kill within my protection those who are helpless, and by your dress you pose yourself to be a godly man, king. By your deeds you are opposing the principles of the twice-born Kshatriyas. You rogue, do you dare beat an innocent cow because Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the carrier of the Gandiva bow, are out of sight? Since you are beating the innocent in a secluded place, you are considered a culprit and therefore deserve to be killed. Then he asked the bull, Oh, who are you? Are you a bull as white as a white lotus, or are you a demigod? You have lost 3 of your legs and are moving on only one. Are you some demigod causing us grief in the form of a bull? This is, remember in the last chapter what we did was, we were just speaking about how this universe is just standing today, this world. Okay, the bull is Yamadev and the cow is Mother Earth, basically. Now, for the first time in the kingdom, well protected by the arms of the king of Kuru dynasty, I see you grieving with tears in your eyes. Up till now, no one on earth has ever shed tears because of royal negligence. O son of Surabhi, you need lament no more. There is no need to fear this low caste Shudra. And O mother cow, as long as I am living as a ruler and a subduer of all envious men, there is no cause for you to cry. Everything will be good for you. O chaste one, the king's good name, duration of life, and good rebirth vanish when all kinds of living beings are terrified by miscreants in his kingdom. It is certainly the prime duty of the king to subdue first the sufferings of those who suffer. Therefore, I must kill this wretched man because he is violent against other living beings. He repeatedly addressed and questioned the bull thus, O son of Surabhi, who has cut off your 3 legs? In the state of the kings who are obedient to the law of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, there is no one as unhappy as you. It is Parikshit is addressing both the bull and the cow. They are on the last leg. Both of them are having only one leg which they are standing on. The rest 3 legs are all broken. So when he is addressing, he is telling these people about the kind of atrocities that are happening on this planet Earth. People have taken this world for granted. We are exploring this universe, this earth like nobody's business. Digging deep inside, there's so much of problem, so many troubles are going on. There are wars. There is, upheaval in this entire planet. So he's addressing them as if in my kingdom, how can this happen? So I am going to punish the Shudra, the person who was beating this cow and the bull. O bull, you are offenseless and thoroughly innocent. Therefore, I wish all good to you. Please tell me the perpetrator of these mutilations, which blackmail the reputation of the sons of Pritha. Whoever causes offenseless living beings to suffer, must fear me anywhere and everywhere in the world. By curbing dishonest miscreants, one automatically benefits the offenseless. An upstart living being who commits offenses by torturing those who are offenseless shall be directly uprooted by me. even though he be the denizens of heaven with armor and decorations. The supreme duty of the ruler king is to give all protection to the all abiding persons and to chastise those who stray from their ordinance of the scriptures in ordinary times, where there is no emergency. He is giving an explanation why he should be punishing this man, the Shudra, who is torturing both the animals. The personality of religion said thus: these words just spoken by you befit a person of the Pandava dynasty. Captivated by the devotional qualities of the Pandava, even Lord Krishna performed duties as a messenger. O greatest among human beings, it is very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreants who have caused our sufferings, because we are bewildered by all the different opinions of theoretical philosophers. Now, this is the time of the Kali Yuga. So there is not one person to be blamed for the deterioration of this world. Everybody is equally responsible. There cannot be one person whom we can single out and say, oh, this man did this or that man did that. No, everybody is equally responsible for the deterioration that is happening in this world. So that is what the bull is telling. Oh, greatest among human beings, it is difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant because we don't know. See, I can keep on pointing fingers at every person and I can say, this person did this and that person did that. But you cannot even say. Some of the philosophers who deny all sorts of duality declare that one's own self is responsible for personal happiness and distress. Others say superhuman powers are responsible. Yet others say that activity is responsible. And the gross materialists maintain that nature is the ultimate cause. This is how we all talk. Like today when the Uttaranchal tragedy was happening, we kept on blaming everybody. We said that the people are misusing. Some people said their people are causing sins. Itna sins बढ़ गया है कि the whole place went underwater. Some people said they were relating to the ministers not doing their jobs properly. You can keep on blaming the whole world. Finally, you can say it is destiny. The earth is getting angry because of this. Likewise, the same thing is being said over here. Different kinds of people are talking about different things. There are also some thinkers who believe that no one can ascertain the cause of distress by argumentation, nor know it by imagination, nor express it by words. O sage among kings, judge for yourself by thinking over all this with your own intelligence. And then there are certain other people also in this world who will say, भगवान की करनी है, पता नहीं कौन करता है, कैसे करता है, क्यों होता है. There is no answer to all these things. So this is the fifth kind of a person who will say, I really don't know what the answers are. Maybe it is the divine will of the Lord that is making it happen. We don't know what the answers are. So he says, King, please think about what the answer should be. Sutta Goswami said, O best among the Brahmanas, the Emperor Parikshit, thus hearing the personality of religion speak, was fully satisfied and without a mistake or regret, he gave his reply. The king said, O you, who are in the form of a bull, you know the truth of religion and you are speaking according to the principle that the destination intended for the perpetrator of the irreligious act is also intended for one who identifies the perpetrator. You are no other than the personality of religion. Naturally, when this question was asked, Parikshit immediately understood. He is coming from the same race, isn't it? A Kuru dynasty. So he immediately understood that these kind of words can only come from the one who is here to give justice to the mankind. So naturally he would be somebody who is connected to justice. In the end, when Yama comes, he always has the news and he is always having this idea कि तुमने क्या किया, सही किया कि गलत किया. वो जो चीज का है उसका दंड भुगतना पड़ेगा, जितना भी है. It is a part and parcel of our life. So he says you are none other than the personality of religion. So he understands. Thus it is concluded that the Lord's energies are inconceivable. No one can estimate them by mental speculation or by the word Jagadri. it is understood, we can try 100 different methodologies trying to understand the beautiful world of God. But we cannot come to any conclusion because everybody's point of view is correct from his point of view. And but yet everybody could be wrong from their point of view because they still don't know what actually is the real cause of these things. In the age of Satya, that is Satyuga, your four legs were established by the four principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. So these are the four legs. One is austerity. Okay. Other one is cleanliness. Third one is mercy. And the fourth one is truthfulness. But it appears that the three of your legs are broken due to rampant irreligion in the form of pride, lust for woman, and intoxication. You are now standing on one leg only, which is your truthfulness. And you are somehow or the other hobbling around. But quarrel personified. Quarrel personified is Kali. She is going to, yeah, she is going to, make one person against the other in this world, in the end. So everybody will be thinking that they have the right thing in this world. Nobody is right, yet everybody will think they are right from their point of view. It is like today, uh, Hindus think that what they are saying is right. Other religion people think that what they are saying is right. So, who is right? Nobody knows. Again, a man is fighting against woman and a woman is fighting against man. Today in the newspaper there is one article where 7 judges have given a justice that a woman who was working for 13 years was sacked. She was working in a dentist office. Why was this woman sacked? Because the dentist's wife said that you are showing more favors to this woman. So you need to throw her out. She is a secretary, you need to throw her out. So he had no choice but to throw her out. So she went and sued the person, saying that you can't throw me out. And she won the lower court case. But when this case went to the higher court, 7 judges have ruled that yes, that man's mind can go off, so the woman needs to go out. I mean, I don't understand how 7 judges can come to this conclusion. There were no woman judges, by the way. They should have had 7 women judges. They would have thrown that dentist out. So it is like that. There is no way. It is always one against the other, one against the other, one against the other. So tomorrow's world is always going to be man against woman also, woman against woman also, man against man also, nations against nations, and it is all going to go to this only. And there will be no amount of trust remaining in this world and no amount of truth. This is the last leg of the Yama, which is supposed to be truthfulness, and that also won't remain. Because everybody's truth is their own truth only. It is from your point of view. Try to look from the other perspective. That other person is also right from his point of view.
So how do you pass a judgment?
So you can't pass a judgment. In Rajasthan, there is a rule of all these higher caste people that the lower caste people cannot ride a horse for the wedding. So band baja barat leke, the boy cannot come on the horse. So one of the lower caste members, he went and complained to the police and said, you know what, they are not allowing me to climb on top of the horse. So He had full police protection when he was going on the horse. पर हाउ हम लोग उस चीज को बोलते हैं शुल्लक शुल्लक बोलेगा तो कोई वैल्यू नहीं है ऐसी चीज में. हाँ, जब बड़ी चीज है भगवान उसको छोड़ के हम लोग छोटी छोटी चीज में बकवास में चीज में चले गए.
डिफरेंस ज्यादा है.
And there is no justice actually. If you actually look at it, what justice is there? What do you mean you can't ride a horse? Tomorrow you will say something else. Day after tomorrow something else. मतलब तुमने ये खाना नहीं खाना चाहिए, वो ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. क्यों? It's a very strange world, and this is Kalaha absolutely. The Kali's Yuga is always going to be like this, full of misunderstanding, one against the other. कोई कारण नहीं, तथ्य नहीं, कुछ उसमें meaning नहीं, useless stuff. So this is what is Kali's Yuga. It is flourishing by deceit. Deceit. कोई किसी के बारे में कुछ भी बोल सकता है. एक दूसरे के बारे में, दूसरा तीसरे के बारे में, तीसरा चौथे के बारे में. वो पप्पी के ऊपर कितना बड़ा हेडलाइन न्यूज आया है. There is this Narendra Modi has said something about a puppy and it has become headline news. Last 2 days the whole headlines of all newspapers is about this.
पप्पी के बारे में.
हाँ, बोला कांग्रेस आय के बारे में कुछ बोल रहा था तो it has become headline news. कोई भी चीज में कोई तथ्य ऐसा नहीं. And he is also trying to destroy that last leg. और जो एक बचा खुचा लेग है उसको भी वो तोड़ना चाहते हैं. The burden of the earth was certainly diminished by Krishna and others as well. When he was present as an incarnation, all good was performed because of his auspicious footprint. जब कृष्णा इस दुनिया में थे तभी वो धर्म की स्थापना कर सकते थे, लेकिन आज धर्म के लिए कोई भी नहीं है. जब धर्मराज भी है ना, वो भी एक पैर के ऊपर है. If you see that, now she, the chaste one, being unfortunately forsaken by Krishna, laments her future with tears in her eyes, for now she is being ruled and enjoyed by lower class men who pose as rulers. Isn't this what is happening? You see, this statement is so true. People who have no idea about God, people who are basically worker class, who are basically from the lowermost classes, where we say ना हम लोगों ने भेदभाव नहीं करना चाहिए. But this book is not talking nonsense. It is telling us the truth. This is what is going to happen in the last yuga. The most unworthy people are going to rule. Maharaj Parikshit, who could fight 1,000 enemies single-handedly, thus pacified the personality of religion and earth. And then he took up his sharp sword to kill the personality of Kali, who is the cause of all irreligion. When the personality of Kali understood that the king was willing to kill him, he at once abandoned the dress of the king and under pressure of fear, completely surrendered to him, bowing his head. Maharaj Parikshit, who was qualified to accept surrender and worthy of being sung in history, did not kill the poor, surrendered and fallen Kali, but smiled compassionately, for he was kind to the poor. The king thus said, "We have inherited the fame of Arjuna. Therefore, since you have surrendered yourself with folded hands, you need not fear for your life, but you cannot remain in my kingdom, for you are the friend of irreligion." If the personality of Kali, irreligion, is allowed to act as a man god or an executive head, certainly irreligious principles like greed, falsehood, robbery, incivility, treachery, misfortune, cheating, quarrel, and vanity will come abound. Therefore, O friend of irreligion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifice according to truth and irreligious principles for the satisfaction of Krishna. So what he does is, he takes this person to task. Remember who he is? He is the Shudra. It is basically this working class or the basic lower level of people in this world. They are not Shudra like scheduled caste and all. They are not that. We are not talking of any scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. The person may be a Brahmana also, from the classical explanation of Brahmana. He may be coming. Yes, a person who is completely in the Kali Yuga. Who is that? One moment. So this person who is the last, who has come in this Kali Yuga, is a person who has actually pulled this world down. He is coming up with Andolan for everything. He wants the down people, those who are not at all supposed to be ruling the kingdom. He is making them rule the kingdom. Yes, people those who are not worthy of ruling anybody, they are being made rulers. So this is a person who is called the person connected to irreligion. He is leaning towards all kinds of things which we mentioned over here just now. In all sacrificial ceremonies, although sometimes a demigod is worshipped, the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead is worshipped because he is the super soul of everyone and exists both inside and outside like the air. Thus it is he only who awards all welfare to the worshipper. So finally what he is saying is, so he is telling this man, Shudra, person who has got this world down on its knees. He says, you please go away from here since you have surrendered. Actually, when these kind of things happen, these are the people who surrender. I can tell you one very famous example. A person like that was ruling a neighboring country. Okay? He was overthrown. He asked for pardon, went and stayed in the Middle East, came back again to the country, and then he started killing people, left, right, and center, including Bhutto, if you remember. This is a story which happened in Pakistan. No, before that there was another person, Yahya Khan and all. I don't know whether you recollect. And then later on, various other people came into the picture.
General Yahya Khan.
Ha. He also did that. Ziaul Haq also happened. And after that, Musharraf. All these people, they went out and they again came back. So Kali's Yuga is going to be an ad continuum. Please don't worry about it. Because the same people who are crushed will again rise. They will say sorry. They will say, I am.
That is also part of their.
Yes. It's a karma of this Yuga.
Yeah.
This Yuga is going to be like this only. The people, for saving their skin, will say, come and say sorry to you.
Yeah, there's no remorse actually.
There is actually no remorse. They will actually say sorry to you, but they will have one very big khanjar in their hand. The moment your back is turned, they are again going to stab you. So, as far as this Yuga is concerned, trust is a very big question mark. Kindly don't trust anybody. You cannot even trust your own self, because today you may say, yes, I am working for this party, and tomorrow you may turn around and go into the opposition. क्योंकि उसने कुछ ज्यादा दिया तो वहां पे हम लोग जाएंगे. हम लोगों का भी ट्रस्ट नहीं है. हाँ, तो आदमी के ऊपर, दूसरों के ऊपर विश्वास करना इज अ वेरी बिग थिंग. खुद के ऊपर भी विश्वास नहीं कर सकते हम. It's a fact. Because I may say today, no, I did this and अच्छा, और 2 दिन के बाद वही उल्टा करके मैं रख दूंगा।
कोई शपथ नहीं लेता।
हाँ, क्योंकि party changing is very fast and easy in this world today. That is why it is the yuga of Kali Yuga. So he is describing we are supposed to always be bowing down to the personality of Godhead, what is called Krishna. Krishna is outside as well as inside of us. So we have to give rise to this Krishna within us. Sutta Goswami said, the personality of Kali, thus being ordered by Maharaj Parikshit, began to tremble in fear. Seeing the king before him like Yamraj, ready to kill him, Kali spoke to the king as follows. O your majesty, though I may live anywhere and everywhere under your order, I shall but see you with bow and arrows whenever I look. Therefore, O chief among the protector of religion, please fix some place for me where I can live permanently under the protection of your government. Sutta Goswami said, Parikshit, thus petitioned by a personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution, animal slaughters are performed. So Kali is the persona of Kali will always be found these places. The places where gambling happens, drinking happens, prostitution happens, and where animals and people are slaughtered literally. So you will find that is where the beginning of Kali is. That is the place where the house of Kali is. The personality of Kali asked for something more, and because of his begging, the king gave him permission to live where there is gold. Because wherever there is gold, there is falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity.
And greed.
Yes. Those who hold gold, those who have gold with them. Gold used to be a precious metal during the Satyuga. But today it is the worst metal to own in this world. Because even 1 gram of gold, people can murder each other. You see, it will lead to falsity. अब देखो, अगर एक माँ चल रही है, जा रही है, और उसने अपने 2 बेटियों को, 2 daughters को, एक को 23 तोला दिया और एक को 24 तोला दिया, समझो 1 तोला का फर्क है. 10 grams is all the difference. कितना बड़ा वॉर होगा. उसको ज्यादा दिया मेरे से, वो ज्यादा प्यार करती है उससे. अरे 1 तोले में तुम्हारा प्यार थोड़ी बढ़ता है, लेकिन that is where this starts. So there is going to be falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. So already 4 places were given. Now he is asked for 1 more place. So gold gathering, those who do, so they are going to be a part and parcel of this falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. 100% guaranteed. तथास्तु बोल के वहां से. Thus the personality of Kali, by the directions of Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Uttara, was allowed to live in these 5 places. 5 places. So now we have to add number 1 place will be the place where gold is. वहां पे पहला, जहां पे दारू पीते हैं वहां पे, जहां पे गैम्बलिंग होता है वहां पे, जहां पे प्रोस्टिट्यूशन होता है वहां पे, और जहां पर एनिमल्स की हत्या होती है वहां पे. तो these are the 5 places that you will find काली का वास है.
But Kali is Krishna only.
Kali, the goddess responsible for removing, is Kali. She has to destroy. That is a different story. This is the one which will push us to that place. something, enticement. It's called an alter ego. Alter ego of every god is there,
So
isn't
why
it?
is same name given here? So it can be concluded.
Ali.
No. Kali is Kal. Kal is interpreted as
Time.
time also. It is also interpreted as darkness.
Black.
It can be interpreted as tomorrow also and yesterday also. So it has got so many names you cannot even imagine. So it is a multiple personality.
She's saying this is son of Uttara.
Huh?
This is son of Uttara.
Parikshit is the son of Uttara. No? We are talking about Parikshit just now. So he is the one who has granted this person, this Shudra. Shudra is the one who is going to. I told you, na Shudra is common man. अपने आप को कॉमन समझता है लेकिन he thinks he is uncommon. He is the greatest thing on planet Earth. क्योंकि you know, I was talking to somebody and that person said, I said that this person has been appointed, some person was appointed to this high position. He is the man of God. So this person says he is a useless bugger. He is a common man. He is a thief. He doesn't know what to talk about God and anything. Why is he appointed there as a person to rule this place? He should not be allowed. So I asked that person very simply. I said, you believe everything runs because of God? He said, yes. What makes you think God has not appointed him?
Why you denying this?
I am the one who elected this person to this place. I am the one he should be responsible to. You know, the common man on the street thinks that the Prime Minister and the President and everybody is responsible to him. I have elected the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister is responsible to me. He should answer me. What they fail to understand is the Prime Minister or the President or the Chief of whoever that country is has been appointed by God, not by this man. So who are you to make judgments on those people? You can't judge a person who is ruling the country or who has become the chief of police. You see, if they are taking bribes and this and that, that's a part and parcel of their world. We can't do anything about it. God has appointed them. So who are you to say?
Should not comment.
There's no point in arguing on that.
Argue.
Because remember, the Kali Yuga starts with argument. So the less the argument, better it is for you.
Yeah, that argument will stop only when knowledge comes.
So he has given these 5 places. Therefore, whosoever desires progress, well-being, especially kings, religionists, public leaders, brahmanas and sannyasis should never come in contact with the 4 above mentioned irreligious principles. So those who is written that? Okay, I will answer. So these kind of people, who are the kind of people? Public leaders, religionists, those who are the religious heads, kings, very big rulers, brahmanas, those who are the knowers of truth, sannyasis. These are the type of people who have to stay away from जहाँ पे दारू मिलती है वहां नहीं जाने का, जहाँ पे कुछ ये सब चीजों को छोड़ के वहां से बाहर आना, वहां जाने का जरूरी नहीं है. So you should avoid contact with such type of things. Therefore, thereafter the king re-established the lost legs of the bull by encouraging activities. He sufficiently improved the conditions on earth. The most fortunate emperor, Parikshit, who was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapur by Maharaj Yudhishthir when he desired to retire in the forest, is now ruling the world with great success due to being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, is so experienced by dint of his expert administration and patronage that it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as this. And thus ends this chapter over here. Do we have time for going to one more chapter? It's the beginning of the story. Because why does this book begin?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is this book very, very important to us? We can do that. I think it's about 50 lines are there. Okay, can we do Senthil? Is it okay? Huh? So we'll do chapter 18. Maharaj Parikshit cursed by Brahmana. Sutta Goswami said, due to the mercy of Krishna, who acted wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, thus struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in the mother's womb, could not be burned. Maharaj Parikshit was always consciously surrendered to Krishna, and therefore he was neither afraid nor overwhelmed by fear due to snake bird, which was to bite him because of the fury of the Brahmana boy. He was already told the story, yet he was not afraid because he had the protection of Krishna. Remember, the womb of Uttara was covered by Krishna's shield. So, therefore, after leaving all his associates, King surrendered himself as a disciple of the son of Vyasudeva Goswami, and thus he was able to understand the actual personality of Godhead Krishna. This was so because those who have dedicated their life to the topics of Krishna, of whom the Vedic hymns are sung, they are constantly engaged in remembering Krishna and do not run the risk of having misconception even at the last moment of their life. As long as the great powerful son of Abhimanyu remains the emperor of this world, there is no chance that Kali will flourish. The very day and moment Krishna left the earth, the personality of Kali, who promotes all kinds of irreligious activities, came into this world. Parikshit was a realist, like the bees who only accept the essence of the flower. He knew perfectly well that the age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts can be actually performed to render effects. So he was never envious of the personality of Kali. You have asked one question. You know, we say upay. Upay yani, how do you, what is the answer? What is the answer to that? The solution to any problem is if I have sinned, if I have done something wrong against a particular person, I have to go and apologize to the person. If I have done something against Kali, whose yuga this is, I got to pray to Kali herself. Please understand this.
Against Kali means how we.
When we have started all these 4-5 things that are being mentioned over here, we are always under the influence of gambling, drinking. That is against Kali.
Against Kali.
See, Kali's yuga will only come if you do this. It is going to become stronger and stronger because of these reasons. So, उसका उपाय कहाँ से मिलेगा? हम काली के शरण में जाएंगे when we go and surrender to Kali. It's Krishna himself. And that is what in the last 5 lines we are speaking of that only. You see, you should always worship Krishna, that is what is said. Continuously worship him. जो कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, उसके लिए. So why is Kali pushing it for this? Kali is actually not pushing. It is her yuga, it is her domain, it is her rule. You can't go and tell Mr. Manmohan Singh, why are you doing like this? It is his ruling. We are staying in his country. I can't hear, you are muted. It's muted, ma, I can't hear you. And that noise keeps on coming. I think there is a problem with your.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Ah,
No, so that means you're saying if we go against what is unrighteousness, that is against Kali.
yes.
Oh, so that is mean this yuga is the world of unrighteousness, and we cannot speak. Oh, this is wrong, and you can't do this. So you cannot stand up to that.
Then you're not
Those who
respecting
want to be with Krishna, they cannot be going for this particular domain. Okay. Yeah.
wants you to open the door for him.
So this is the yuga of Kali. It is you are living in India. Can you go against Indians? Can you say I am a Pakistani over here?
This is how it is meant to be now. If you go against it,
So we have to forget all that is happening. सब जन दारू पी रहे हैं तो तुमको जाके दारू पीने का जरूरी नहीं है.
and you can't oppose also.
If you want to be on the righteous path, you get out of that place. Stay away from it. Why do you want to get into that world? So if you want to get into that world, then you are going to be the person who is a Shudra, basically a person who is.
So you're basically saying you cannot oppose, and if you need to be with Krishna, you cannot also get into it. So you have to just stay out of it.
You are not listening to the last 5 lines.
I did.
You need to listen, because Krishna is the one person in your world that you need to always focus your mind on.
Right.
Mind and your body has to be focused on this. When it is focused on this, you will follow the righteous path. If you follow any other path, it's going to lead you to the doom. It's going to take you into the Kali Yuga very fast.
Right.
So
And
what do you mean by if Krishna goes away, Kali comes in? What do you mean by that?
Krishna's domain was there during his particular last yuga, which is called the Dwapar Yuga. He left at the end of the Dwapar. That's a yuga. It's an age, it's called. When righteousness was required in the previous yuga, Treta, there was Sri Ram. And his teachings are related to that yuga. Next yuga is the. Can you mute that thing, please? This yuga is the Kali Yuga. It's a yuga of Kali. Today, the world is going to go towards that. Please understand this. Where is the question of righteousness remaining today in the world? You tell me. Today, we are talking of a language which cannot be, the language itself is bad. Relationships have deteriorated to the level where nobody knows who is who's who. Nobody knows. It's a father, brother, mother, sister. There are no relationships remaining in this world today. Because you can't trust a person. Nobody can be trusted in today's day and age. Including your own self, you can't be trusted. Today you may say, I love X. One day later something happens and you love Y. One day something happens and you love Z. Then you will go start from A to Z again. There is no focus in anybody's world. Today a person may say, I love this woman. Tomorrow he will say, no, I don't love this woman, I love this man. What are you going to do about it? So the yuga is like this. It is the circumstances, it is this age which is going to make you do those things. You see, the hot weather makes a person put on the air conditioner. Okay? The cold weather will tell you to shut down the air conditioner. So isn't it the environment also going to push you towards that?
Circumstantial.
So if there are 10 of your friends drinking, and if you are not a drinker, they will make you drink. Please know that. If there are 10 other friends who are smoking, they will make you smoke. Let us say, for example, there are 100 politicians who are corrupt, and one Mr. Gandhi joins over there, who is non-corrupt. You think they will let that person survive?
No.
No. They will not make him survive, because this is not a place for the politician to be. So truth is not in that place. I believe the truth is there. It is your falsehood. You are believing that. It is your falsehood. The truth is not there. The truth is only at the feet of Krishna. Please understand this. There is no truth anywhere in this world. Everything is falsehood. Everything is tainted. Everything is corrupted. The whole world is full of that. Let us take an example, very simple example. Earlier we would buy a 1,000 rupee cell phone. It used to be coming with already one SIM inside. And the company said you pay 200 rupees per month or 300 rupees. It was called Tata Indicom and something and something, and all names were there. 1,000 rupee phone. Today you have to buy two phones of 50,000 rupees in a year. And still at the end of the day, they will say, you are only paying 200 or 300 for the charge, But a 45,000 rupees phone becomes redundant in 6 months. Why? Do you think that is the truth? No. We are working very fast towards Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is expanding at such a fantastic rate that what is the truth today becomes falsehood tomorrow, and what is falsehood today will become the truth tomorrow. One very simple example I will tell you. During my childhood, if somebody had burn injuries, they were told, बर्नल लगाओ, हाँ, पानी में पैर नहीं डालना, पानी में हाथ मत डालो. Today the first thing they will say is, पानी में पहले हाथ डालो.
Pull it down.
Pull it down. So what was there yesterday is now reversed out today. It's the same principle.
Only Krishna is a permanent eternal being.
The only thing is you need to keep your focus only on that one and keep on doing your material worldly jobs.
Because they have to be done.
Yes. So Maharaj Parikshit considered that less intelligent men might find the personality of Kali to be very powerful, but that those who are self-controlled will have nothing to fear. The king was powerful like a tiger and took care of the foolish, careless people. It is the yuga which is going to push you towards that. Please understand. The yuga, the personality of Kali is going to push you in that direction, because he is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. The vices are becoming stronger. There is no way you can avoid him. There is no way you can say ना कि मैं ऐसे ही चला जाऊंगा. No, you have to meet him. You have to face him. But don't fall into his clutches.
That's the test of your.
Yes. So that is the reason why he has said these words very carefully. Less intelligent men will find personality of Kali to be very powerful. Succumbing to this personality of Kali is very, very easy.
So that is the result of less intelligence.
Less intelligence.
That is because of less intelligence, because we do not use our intelligence. What happens? It is easy to go to sleep, शामरुग means ostrich mentality. बोला ऐसा कवर करके बैठ जाने का, वो टाइगर नहीं है. The king was powerful like a tiger, बोला इधर. O sages, as you did ask me, now I have described almost everything regarding the narration about Lord Krishna in connection with the history of pious Maharaj Parikshit. Those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life must submissively hear all topics that are connected to the transcendental activities and qualities of Krishna, who acts wonderfully. The only way out of this today is to listen to Krishna's stories, is to glorify him, is to make him all strong and powerful, is to listen to his activities. There is no other go. The good sages said, Sutta Goswami, you may live many years and have eternal fame, for you are speaking very nicely about the activities of Krishna. This is just like a nectar from mortal beings like us. We have just begun the performance of this fruitive activity, a sacrificial fire, without certainty of its result due to many imperfections in our action. Our bodies have become black from the smoke, but we are factually pleased by the nectar of the lotus feet of Krishna, Govinda, which you are distributing. The value of the moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot be compared to the attainment of the heavenly planets or liberation from matter. And what to speak of the material, worldly benediction in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. A very important line. It says, "Is the greatest thing to do at the moment is listen to the stories of Krishna and be in the company of the devotees of Krishna." So, a moment's association, even 1 minute of your association with the devotee of Krishna is like attaining the heavenly planet. It's like attaining God. So when a person is in association with a devotee of Krishna, that is the highest you can ever reach, as if the heavenly planets. And then what else you will get? You will also get the material worldly benefits also. And then at the time of death, you will remember Krishna. Krishna is the exclusive shelter of all great living beings, and his transcendental attributes cannot be measured by such masters of mystic power as Shiva or Brahma. Can anyone who is expert in relishing nectar, rasa, ever be fully satiated by hearing topics about him? So even Shiva and Brahma cannot match his equal or become equal. Sutta Goswami, you are learned and pure devotee of the Lord. Because of Krishna is your chief object of the service. Therefore, please describe to us the pastimes of the Lord, which are above material conceptions, and we are anxious to receive such messages. Sutta Goswami, please describe those topics of the Lord by which Maharaj Parikshit, whose intelligence was fixed in liberation, attained the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of Garuda, the king of birds. These topics were vibrated by the son of Srila Sukdev. Thus, please narrate to us the narration of the unlimited, that are purifying and supreme. They were spoken to Maharaj Parikshit, and they are very dear to our pure devotees, being full of bhakti yoga. A devotee is higher than a disciple, by the way. Yesterday we were discussing about this only, isn't it? A disciple is a person who can sit, come and go. Sit, come and go. He comes and he goes. He is not there forever. He is not thinking about Krishna. He is thinking about his material worldly life. He keeps on thinking about all the possible things in the world. But a devotee of Krishna is always devoted to the feet of the Lord. He is always completely surrendered to the Lord. He is always thinking about the Lord, come whatever may. So the Goswami said, "O God, although you are born in a mixed caste, we are still promoted in birthright simply by serving and following the great, who are advanced in knowledge. Even by conversing with such great souls, one can cleanse oneself of all disqualification resulting from the lower birth." So even if you get a little time with a devotee of the Lord, you will achieve heaven. And what to speak of those who are under the directions of the great devotee, chanting the name of the unlimited, who has unlimited potency. Krishna's unlimited in potency and transcendental by attributes is also called Ananta, which is unlimited.
Endless.
It is now ascertained that he is unlimited and there is none equal to him. Consequently, no one can speak of him adequately. Great demigods cannot obtain the favors of the goddess of fortune even by prayers. But this very goddess renders service unto the Lord, although he is unwilling to have such service. You know, Krishna is always served by Lakshmi. Everybody wants Lakshmi's attention. Why? Because she can grant people money and prosperity and good health and wealth and joy and everything. You know, she is the one who grants everybody this. But she is the one who is serving the Lord. And Lord is never telling her to serve. He never says you got to serve me. No. But she loves to serve him. And that is the only reason why she serves him. Who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the personality of Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. This very water, Ganga, is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. You know, Ganga is coming from the nails, the feet of Krishna. And Ganga is in the head of Shiva. So you see how the whole picture is kept in front of you. Self-controlled persons who are attached to Krishna can all of a sudden give up the world of material attachments, including gross body and settled mind, and go away to attain the highest perfection of the renounced order of life, by which non-violence and renunciations are consequential. You know, many people in this world suddenly one fine day may decide for themselves, enough is enough. I don't want this material world. Can I just go and live with Krishna? This is what they do. But this attachment has to be given up. Self-controlled people who are attached only to the Supreme Lord. You got to be attached only to Krishna. So one fine day, they will suddenly give up the world and all material attachments, including the gross body and the subtle body. They give up, even including their bodies, they give up for Krishna. And they go away to get this particular thing. O Rishis who are powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned. As the bird flies in the sky as far as the capacity allows, so the learned devotee describes the Lord as far as the realization allows. Even the realization of the Lord is limited in objective, very, very limited. People can attain only limited realization. If you want to know full Krishna, you can't know him. You can only know a little portion of him. जैसे उसकी नाखून तक आप पहचान सकते हैं, उसके पूरे बॉडी को नहीं पहचान सकते. So that is the reason why it is important. Even if you know one hair of Krishna, it's more than enough. You cannot fathom him. You cannot make any description of him. You cannot even say what kind of a person is he or what kind of a person he is not. Because no words can describe him. Once upon a time, Maharaj Parikshit, who was engaged in hunting in the forest with bows and arrows, became extremely fatigued, hungry and thirsty. While following the stag, while searching for a reservoir of water, he entered the hermitage of the well-known Samika Rishi and saw the sage sitting silently with closed eyes. The Muni's sense organs, breath, mind and intelligence were restrained from material activities, and he was situated in a trance apart from the three states, have achieved a transcendental position qualitatively equal with the Supreme Absolute. That means at this point in time, Parikshit was going out on his hunt, and he came across to this particular Rishi, whose name was Samika Rishi. So when he met the Rishi was sitting in Samadhi. The three states of existence were not there with him. The sage in meditation was covered by the skin of a stag, and long compressed hair was scattered all over him. The king, whose palate was dry from thirst, asked him for water. The king is very thirsty, so he is asking the sage, can you please give me some water? The king not received any formal welcome by means of being offered a seat, place, water and sweet address, considered himself neglected, and so thinking he became angry. O Brahmanas, the king's anger and envy directed toward the Brahmana sage was unprecedented. Being that circumstance it had made him hungry and thirsty. You see, when a person is hungry and thirsty, उसको खुद का ख्याल भी नहीं रहता कि वो बकवास क्या कर रहा है. Yes. इसीलिए है ना, हम लोग यही बोलते हैं ना कि है ना, अगर पेट में पहला खाना जाने दो, बाद में भगवान का नाम लेना. अगर पेट में पहला खाना नहीं डालेंगे और भगवान का नाम लेंगे ना, तो बहुत तकलीफ होगी. वो पेट के बारे में ज्यादा सोचेंगे. भगवान इवन आदि पोटोबा मग विठोबा जैसे ना मराठी में बोलते हैं, पहला पेट भरो, बाद में भगवान का नाम लो. नहीं तो भगवान का नाम लेने में बहुत तकलीफ होती है, दिक्कत आती है. So he was very angry because he was hungry and thirsty, and that's why he said those things. while leaving, the king, being so insulted, picked up a lifeless snake with his bow and arrow and placed it on the shoulder of the sage. Thus he returned to the palace. Out of that, he was very much disturbed. How can somebody neglect him so much? So there was one dead snake lying over there. He took the snake and he put it around the shoulder of this rishi. Upon returning, he began to contemplate and argue within himself whether the sage has actually been in meditation, with senses concentrated and eyes closed, or whether he was just feigning trance just to avoid receiving a lower Kshatriya. The sage had a son who was very powerful. Being a Brahmana's son, while he was playing with the inexperienced boys, he heard of his father's distress, which was occasioned by the king. Then and there the boy spoke as follows. Now this is very important. These are the words which are going to come true. The Brahmana's son, Shringi was his name. Shringi. He said, "Oh, just look at the sins of the rulers who, like crows and watchdogs at the door, perpetrate sins against the masters, contrary to the principle governing servants. The descendants of the kingly orders are definitely designated as watchdogs, and they must keep themselves at the door. On what grounds can dogs enter the house and claim to dine with the masters of the same plate?" Here, what is being said is this. The Rishi was a much realized soul. A king may be a king in his country, but when you enter the portals of the masters, you cannot come with your ego. You cannot come with anger. You cannot come with people with their, ahankara, ego and all that. You cannot enter that place. You are literally like a dog outside. तो कुत्ते बाहर घूमते हैं वैसे वो लेवल पे हो, तो कैसे आके मेरे पिताजी के साथ ऐसे कर सकता है? After the departure of Lord Krishna and supreme ruler of everyone, these upstarts have flourished, our protectors being none, gone. Therefore I shall take upon this matter and punish them. Just witness my power. Shringi is now going to curse the king. The son of the Rishi, with his eyes red hot with anger, touched the waters of the river Kaushiki while speaking to his playmates and discharged the following thunderbolt of words. The Brahmana's son cursed the king thus. On the 7th day from today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched one of that dynasty because of having broken the laws of etiquette by insulting my father. Thereafter, when the boy returned to the hermitage, he saw the snake on the father's shoulder, and out of grief he cried very loudly. The Brahmanas, the rishis who are born in the family of Angira Muni, hearing the son's crying, gradually opened his eyes and saw the dead snake around his neck.
Who is this Angiram? Angiras.
He is the descendant of Angiras.
Who? The Samika.
Oh. So he saw the snake on his shoulder, no? He threw the dead snake aside and asked his son why he was crying, whether anyone had done him any harm. On hearing this, the son explained to him what had happened. The father heard had been cursed, although he should never have been condemned, for he was the best among human beings. The Rishi did not congratulate his son, but on the contrary began to repent, saying, "Alas, what a great sinful act was performed by my son. He has awarded heavy punishment for an insignificant offense. O my boy, your intelligence is immature, and therefore you have no knowledge that the king, who is the best among human beings, is as good as Krishna. He is never to be placed in the equal footing with common men. The citizens of the state live in prosperity, being protected by the unsurpassable prowess. My dear boy, the Lord who carries the wheel of the chariot is represented by the non-archeal regime, and when this regime is abolished, the whole world becomes filled with thieves, who then at once vanquish the unprotected subject like scattered lambs. Due to the termination of the non-monarchical regimes and the plundering of the people's wealth by rogues and thieves, there will be great social disruptions. Are we not facing these disruptions now? They are called social disruptions. You see, when you displace a king, when you displace a ruler, there is going to be anarchy. See what is happening today in Egypt. See what is happening across the world. Everywhere it's the same thing. The rulers who are supposed to rule the kingdom are no longer given their power. They are usurped by the people who are dominant. They are called the people of Kali, of this Kali Yuga. People will be killed. and injured, and animals and women will be stolen. And for all these sins, we shall be responsible. At that time, the people in general will fall systematically from the path of progressive civilization in respect to the qualitative engagement of the caste and the orders of society and the Vedic injunctions. Thus, they will be more attracted to economic development for sense gratification, and as a result, there will be unwanted population on the levels of dogs and monkeys. Everybody is going to talk about social revolution. Everybody is going to talk about economic development. Are we not talking about economic development today?
That was all about. The name of economic development is wrong.
But it is only for sense gratification. We are having railways built because there is a sense gratification so that I can travel faster. We have cars like Ferrari and all these things are there. What are they there for? What are the super fast vehicles and super fast phones and this is, are they not sense gratification items? So what was mentioned in this line is coming true. King Parikshit is a pious king. He is highly celebrated in the first class devotee of Krishna. He is a saint among royalty and he has performed many horse sacrifices. When such a king is tired and fatigued, being stricken by hurt, hunger and thirst, he does not deserve to be cursed. Then the rishi prayed for all pervading Krishna and to pardon this immature boy who had no intelligence and who committed the great sin of cursing a person who is completely free from all sins, who was subordinate and who deserved to be protected. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. You see, the devotees of Krishna, if anything like this happens to them, defamed, उनके नाम के अगेंस्ट बहुत सारे लोग बोलेंगे. All sorts of wrong things will be told against them. They will be cheated. Money, fame, place, monetary gains, everything will be taken away from them. They will be cursed by people. They will be distributed, neglected, and even killed. And yet, the devotees of Krishna do not raise their finger on anybody.
So they are not the body.
They don't avenge themselves. The sage thus regretted the sin committed by his own son. He did not take the insult paid by the king very seriously. Generally, the transcendentalists, even though engaged in other than the dualities in the material world, are not distressed, nor do they take pleasure in worldly things, for they are transcendentally engaged. Then, as far as we are concerned, those who are the devotees of Krishna should always be engaged upon a devotion to Krishna and not bothered about what the world talks about them. The world is going to talk bullshit and nonsense. They are going to curse them. They are going to defame them. They are going to call them out names. They will say you are the worst possible creature on earth.
For a devotee, all these are mere distractions.
They will come. They will have to undergo this.
But when your intelligence is at play, then you look at it as mere distractions.
Correct. So at such point in time, the only thing that you got to do is just surrender to the feet of the Lord. That's it. Beyond that, you don't have any other thing to do in this material world. So this ends chapter 18 of the Bhagavatam. So any questions? Yeah, this is after that. See, when Parikshit meets the personality of Kali, that is that Shudra who was beating the bull and the cow, he rules the kingdom for many years. And during the course of one of his great, episodes that he is going out, they all conquer kingdoms after kingdoms by this Ashwamedh Yagya. So while one of these yagyas that he is going and doing that, at that point in time he loses himself in the forest. And he comes to this hamlet, this very small house, hermitage of this Rishi. And there this happens. This is the last now. Now 7 days is all that is remaining. I know we can't finish the Srimad Bhagavatam in 7 days. Maybe it will take us, I don't know, 7 years, maybe 70 years, don't know. But we'll have to try. So anyway, he has to listen to the entire Bhagavata in 7 days. So now in the next chapter, he has to meet the son of Vyasmuni, Sukadev. He has to meet him now. So we have just come to the point where the story is just beginning, it's just opened up now.
So
So,
you must have been doing only that the next 7 days. Not ruling.
so any more questions? Then I'll take your leave. Next week I am not in town, so I will not be able to do the satsangs. But we shall meet on 22nd. Those who are here, I know Senthil, you can't come from the United States, but those who are here can definitely meet on 22nd. All right. So I shall see you all. You have a very great evening and take care of yourself. Bye.